Coming into the end of week 9 here, I'd say the overall vibe for the workouts of the week has been good, but slowing down. All right, welcome to week 9, upper body day 2. It's Friday, so today we're just going to take a little look at the past week, just kind of see how our workouts have felt, what our nutrition adherences look like, what our average weight is looking like, and then just do a little retrospective. We'll do that while we're doing our workout, which is, as I said, upper body day 2. And it is my famous easy bar workout, which just consists of easy bar upright rows, curls, skull crushers, and if we have time, we'll do the McGill 3 for some core after. Stick around, we still will do our daily update with our weigh-in and our nutrition from yesterday, but then we'll also take a look at the past week as we go along. And to warm up, we'll just get some light dumbbells and do some like curls and shoulder type stuff. All right, one more of those warm-ups before we get started. Coming into the end of week 9 here, I'd say the overall vibe for the workouts of the week has been good, but slowing down. Like last week, on week 8, I had noticed like a little soreness, not like a full kind of tweak of my lower back during deadlifts, but a little soreness there, which meant, I had broken down in form during my deadlifts, which was probably because of tiredness and fatigue. So this week, I wanted to pay attention to my body being a little bit, maybe just a little bit more tired, not able to push as hard as it has been. I got a weightlifting belt to help tighten up my core, and then I just took it slower. I didn't push very heavily for increased reps or increased weight. I just focused on good form and going slow. So doing that felt good. I just wasn't able to, I think, push as hard as I had been. Like each week I had been pushing to overload, increase reps, increase weight. So I think we're finally, as we come to this halfway mark, we're getting to like the extent of how much I can keep pushing my body while in this severe cut. So that being said, like paying attention to my body, doing good form and stuff like that, I've still felt like been able to get a good stimulus and, haven't felt extremely fatigued or tired, just enough to where I want to pay attention to it. So, all right, let's get our first set of upright rows. Okay. We can stop at 8 there. Okay, set 2. 10. Looking back at push day this week, that was the first day I kind of noticed that my body is not, really going to be able to make that push go farther than what it had been on my dumbbell bench press. I think I basically just stayed flat what I was the week before, and that felt really hard in that last set, even just to get, I think it was 9 reps. I did 10, 10, 9, which is what I did the week before, I believe. So I kind of first noticed it there, like, okay, we're starting to slow down a little bit. And then the next day for deadlifts, I knew from the week prior, that's when I had that soreness. So I went into deadlifts knowing that I had slowed down a little bit on Monday, knowing that I wanted to slow down intentionally. I did keep the weight the same. It was like a little bit higher weight. I think it was at 295, which is like good. That's a good place where I want to be for deadlift. I think eventually I do want to push into the 300s for my working sets. But for me, for this week, it just seemed like it was wise to keep the weight where it was, try and move it with good form, try to focus on bracing my core and not letting my hips come up before my upper body, and that felt good. The rest of that workout also felt good. I think I was able to keep things the same or, increase reps a little bit. And then Wednesday, on my first upper body. My upper body days are kind of lower volume, lower intensity anyway, so I think I just kept everything the same there. Again, more just status quo, which is good for me. And Thursday on leg day, I think it felt a little bit better than push day and pull day. I had just moved up in weight on squats, and I was able to move that weight. So I think we did 3 sets of 4 at 295. So that felt good. That felt like an accomplishment. Like having just moved up in weight, I probably would have just done 3 sets of 4 anyway. It definitely felt like a good stimulus, and I feel like my body could have pushed more. I think I was just, with the context of the rest of the week, was trying to play it a little safer. So if I don't deload next week, leg day would definitely be a place where I would try to get a few more reps. I would try to get a few more reps on leg day just to try and push the intensity and get some overload in some areas. But yeah, and then here we are today, where I'm just kind of keeping that mindset of, hey, let's try and match what we did last week. Let's have good form. If we increase reps a little bit, great, but we're not, coming into the halfway marker of this cut. We're trying to be smart. We want to make sure that we can finish the second half. All right, last set of upright rows. All right, that's 10. Let's see, let's put these. Moving on to curls. I believe last week we did 70 pounds, 3 sets of 10. Sounds like a good goal. Well, and I do try on my curls. I'm not on a preacher bench or anything like that, but I do try to control it on the way down and fully extend. Just so I'm getting that full range of motion. I'm not trying to use body weight as much as I can without, being braced. But yeah, I'm trying to not go too fast, trying to control it. My eccentric loading on the way down to stretch the muscle and come down to the bottom as much as I can before coming up. Just looking at the weigh-ins for the week so far. Monday we started at 194.1. We did hit a low of 189.3. And today we've kind of scooted back up to 190.6, averaging 191 so far. We still have our weigh-in tomorrow, which I expect to be a again in this 189 to 191 range because I plan on eating decently today. And then I imagine Sunday will be higher because Saturday is going to be a high calorie day for a Christmas brunch. Well, ideally, our average would be 190.6. Not the end of the world if we don't get that, but that is the goal. It would be nice to hit a target number going into next week with the holidays where I've got 2 large calorie meals. So that's what I've done to try and help hit those numbers is average out my calories. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I've been trying to hover around my 1600 calorie goal for the day. Normally that's a buffer that I don't mind if I go over by 100 or a couple hundred calories because I want to average 1800 to 1900 calories for the week. So it's okay if I have some fluctuation. But knowing that next Saturday or tomorrow, it's going to kind of look like this past Saturday or maybe even a little higher, I want to stick to my numbers earlier in the week so that I have room on that last day. And don't pay attention to this average because today is only 44.7 calories so far. So that's bringing the average way down. Our average is probably like 1650 for the week so far. So, yeah. Curls set to If we want to do a deeper dive into the calories for the week, you can see Monday we went after it. We stayed under 1600 calories and we got 182 grams of protein. We did that with just some low calorie soup, some extra chicken breast, just focusing on high protein content, low fat Greek yogurt, David bars. I switched to David bars this week from my other protein bars, which is also helps get that protein up. I talked yesterday about the protein density goal that I shoot for is 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. And more than that is great because technically for my body weight and my lean body mass, I should be shooting for 180 to 200 grams protein. So if I'm shooting for 1600 calories, you can see I need to be above 10 grams of protein to 100 calories. But it's a good goal. It's realistic. It's easy to calculate. And I can easily see if I hit that. Yesterday, we were obviously above that. Monday, Tuesday, we were still above that. Got a decent amount of protein. It's very similar meals. Wednesday, got shot, basically right at 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. Yesterday, again, went after it for the protein, 197 grams of protein. We did that with just some extra chicken stir fry, some low-fat cottage cheese dinner, low-fat yogurt, and those David bars. I've really leaned on those. Those have been my mid-morning, late-morning breakfast. And then yesterday I had one at lunch, and then I had one kind of after dinner before bedtime too. So that's 450 calories with 28 grams per 150 calories. It helps a lot. Today we're shooting for the same thing. I do have I just remembered a guys' night thing with some friends tonight that will probably have wings and stuff. So I'll have to consider. I'll have to probably just bring some healthy snacks because I know that Saturday's going to be high calorie. So I can't really afford to have a loosey-goosey night tonight. So, but these are the trade-offs that we make when we have goals that we want to hit. All right, last set of dumbbell curls. All right, skull crushers. And you'll notice we're on an incline just to take a little pressure off of our elbows, get a slightly different stimulus than normal on a flat bench. But yeah, we're at 80 pounds. We've got 3 sets of 10. We did 12 because, yeah, we got to 10 and it felt like we were not getting, we needed more. So it's only Friday and I do my weeks from Monday to Sunday. So we still have, we basically have today's day of eating, Saturday and Sunday, before we can do a complete kind of retrospective on the week. So I will try my best to just do a quick update Sunday evening to look at where we ended up for the week as far as our average weight and our calories for the past few days. But yeah, and then that will be the end of week 9. We're heading into week 10, knowing that it is a holiday week. Our routine is going to be kind of different. Kids are off school, traveling for Christmas, going to be out of town. We'll be out of town at the in-laws. So obviously that always has the potential to disrupt even when just traveling and changes to routine itself, plus the extra calories. So we're going to have some grace for ourselves. We're going to try our best. We're going to plan for trying to have lower calorie days around Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, or the holidays. And then we'll try Friday, Saturday, Sunday to keep it low again, to try and keep that average, at or around 1900 calories. That's the best that we can do. We may or may not deload, just as I talked about at the beginning, knowing that I'm starting to kind of feel the effects of the cut on my body. It might be a good idea to deload and go into the new year and, week 11, the second half of the cut, kind of with a little bit fresher, more recovered body. So yeah, stay tuned. If I am doing that Sunday update, it'll appear as if no time has passed for you, even though it'll be like 72 hours for me. But yeah, another thing I'm looking forward to is I think I'm finally going to I'm going to evaluate a couple different workout apps. I've been using the same one for like 3 or 4 years, and it has done well, but I'm wanting to be able to see more readily my progress from week to week, like in a graph. And so I'm just evaluating some options on that. But that'll be a good opportunity as we go into the new year with a new workout routine that I planned with AI, by the way. Stay tuned for that video. So yeah, just some heads up of things to look out for on the channel. The second set of tricep skull crushers. And I know I have said, yeah, if you hit the top of your rep range, you should move up in weight and go down. So I'm just being lazy. Like, I don't feel like changing weights on this. So yeah, we're just gonna shoot for 12, or if we need more stimulus, we'll just go a few more reps. Last set, skull crushers. A couple more. That's gonna wrap it up for today. Well, I'm gonna skip core because I do have some extracurriculars that I need to make time for this morning, and still have time to get to work and get some stuff done at work. So thanks for joining. Stick around for the full retrospective of weight and nutrition for the week, and we'll see you in week 10. All right, it's Sunday night, as promised or alluded to. I am here to do our full weekly check-in. Let's do weight first. So we didn't quite hit our goal. We averaged 191.3. Last week we were 192.6. So we wanted 190.6. So we're actually a little over half a pound off. We only lost 1.3 pounds on average. But just as I predicted, we have a bit of a smiley face where we peaked in the middle of the week. I think the thing that kind of threw me off was this Friday and Saturday weigh-in were a little bit higher than what I was expecting. I expected Sunday to be higher because Saturday was a high calorie day. But it's on the grand scheme of things, we'll just keep on moving on. I'll be interested to see
how this week goes. We've got Christmas in the middle of it, so really I think we'll kind of reassess and see how we come out of the holidays and see if we need to readjust our goal or if we need to adjust anything. But I think it'll probably all just be fine. Most of this, I did stick to my calories pretty well. So if we look at the average, 1877, I have said that my goal is to hit 18 to 1900 calories. So even with a big old Saturday, Friday was a little bit, maybe not like super high calorie. It was a little higher than normal. There's probably more sodium there. And then today, more sodium as well. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do the first 3 days of this week, Monday through Wednesday. Thursday's Christmas Eve, or Wednesday's Christmas Eve, I guess. Anyway, I'll be curious to see how we end up on this week. But we did hit our calorie goals, so I'm not super concerned about the actual like weight numbers because it's likely affected by water weight and stuff. But yeah, and also our really next week being week 10, we really just want to be down to like 190 because the overall goal is to get down to 170 plus or minus a few pounds. So knowing that we have 10 weeks after next week, 2 pounds a week, if we get to 190, then 2 pounds per week for 10 weeks would be 20 pounds. That'd be 170. So there's room. And as long as the scale generally is trending down around about the way that I want it to, and as long as the progress in the mirror is looking like decent, then I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm going to have a good Christmas meal with friends and family, and I'm not going to sweat it too much. So yeah, looking forward to getting in the gym this week and as much as we can. It's going to be nice here in St. Louis, so I'll also get some golf in, maybe get a little bit cardio that way.